Boom, boom, this is Ken. Welcome back to the channel. All right, guys, a little bit Azur Lane on tap today, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we're going to go ahead and talk about a little bit about the priority ships and about the changes that you can see. As you know, for quite some time, some of the biggest, or I say one of the biggest gripes of the new players and people just getting started in the game is the ability to, catch up to some more established players. So one of the big ways that this was made difficult was priority ships, as they are the best ships in the game. And it was difficult to get those because not necessarily just the development process, but the actual, just building them could usually be done pretty quick if you would have a full fleet of that particular faction. But the development process just takes forever, gathering the blueprints, and that's primarily because blueprints were very difficult to obtain. I mean, you could purchase them in the event shop, and you could also run the research projects to get them. So they made a big change. So the first change is in priority season 1 ships. So let's go ahead and go to our season 1 ships here. I'll show you what you mean. So priority season 1, you no longer have to get blueprints to level up season 1 priority ships. Now you just use gold. Okay, so you might want to make sure that your actual, if you're a new player, make sure that your actual merchant is at level 10. That's max. That means you'll obtain max gold offline. You also want to make sure that your canteen is as well, but you definitely want to make sure that is maxed out, so that you will be able to continue to get gold offline, and that gold will allow you to spend more on any of the priority 1 ships that you want to start. And I would suggest doing Monarch. Buki gets a mention as well too. So, but any of those ships would be excellent starter ships. Okay. And you can get them up pretty fast just using gold. Okay, so the second thing, research. The research lab, as you always know, has been where you've got in the Research Academy. Now, once you finish with the ship and get it maxed out and development to the point where you no longer need any blueprints for it, it will no longer show. Okay, so you don't have to worry about getting duplicate face is what I call them, face projects, because it has the picture of the one. So the old ones will disappear once it's fully developed and fate simulation's done. Okay, it'll no longer show. Second, you will only get the blueprints for the actual ship that is involved in the face project. Okay, you won't be getting, before you would get one of these, like a chance, multiple, and then you would get like a blueprint for guarantee. Well, that's not the same. Now you're going to get all the blueprints will be for Georgia. I actually got 3 for FTG one time, so a few days ago. Okay, so that's what's changed as well too. Okay, second, they're going to be also giving us 300 blueprints that can be used on the SSR priority 2 ships, and 150 blueprints that can be used on the DR, which is Azuma and FTG. So look for those as well, okay? Because that's a very important consideration if you're looking, to start on, FTG or something like that. Okay, so that's going to be some blueprints that you can start out for. So in season 2, the only ones, Azuma, okay, and FTG. So you get 150 for them, and you get 200 for the rest, okay? Or 300 for the rest, I'm sorry. Now, another thing that you can do, okay, now if you see this event up here, where you're actually getting the PR2 core data packs, you can actually exchange these into, wrong screen, gotta go to the depot. if you go down here to these, find the company right here. Are these the one? Yeah, you can analyze these and convert these into a prototype core, which can then be used to actually purchase the actual blueprints for those ships inside the shop. So if you go to the shop, prototype shop, you can then, that'll give you all this, and you can use these to purchase. You can do ones for, you know, FDG, FDGs right here in Azuma. So you can use these to purchase them inside of here. Okay, you could also use it, its core, so you can use it on possibly purchasing some other plints for the actual rainbow gun. Okay, so all this stuff is now, this is a new entry into the shop, by the way. Okay, so that's in terms of that. So basically, they've been talking a long time about speeding up the process, and they are. So I'm going to wait until the 150 come out. I'll use those 150. At that time, I'll determine. I'll use them on FTG, and at that time, I'll determine how many of the actual cores I want to analyze. I'm probably going to focus on Azuma next. Now that I can actually level up, because I was working on this fate simulation for St. Louis. I can actually finish that with gold now, so I really don't have to focus anything on that. So there's nothing in priority 1 that I need to focus on. Priority 2, once I get Azuma and FDG up, that'll be it for them. And then I've already got mains set, but I'm actually going to go ahead and skip over mains and start, I'll work on mains if I don't finish up FDG and Azuma. I think I'm going to come up a little bit short on Azuma. I'm pretty sure I'll have enough to get 30, the 30 development for FDG. FDG and Azuma do not have their fate simulations yet, I do not think. So there's nothing to do after that, but they will be getting fate simulations pretty soon, I hope. And then I'll do those. But in terms of getting, I think getting development, I'll be really close to completing that. I know I'll be able to do FDG, but I'm not sure that I'll have enough to finish up Azuma. We'll have to see. But anyway, I'll get very close if not. FDG's already usable, even though she's not at 30. She's at, I got one more star for her to go to 30. But she's already usable. I use her all the time. I use her in PvP, and she does fine. Okay, she does what she's supposed to do, which is, nuke opposing teams, and she does it. She does it very well. I've got her fully maxed. All skills at 10, all equipment at 10, and I'll probably put in, the one, maybe put the rainbow gun on her or something. I have to see what who has the best efficiency for that particular type of gun before I make that determination. So as you can see, I still have 103 blueprints left over for Azuma. So I can use these. So as you can see, we've got a 1 star short. So with FG, I'm pretty sure, getting maybe 150, and then using some of the core, I should be able to finish it up. I only need 5. I should be able to finish it up. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm just waiting to make sure that I don't overestimate and dump too much in there. I don't want to use, I want to save some of the core, for Azuma but so I'm just waiting until we get those blueprints that they're going to give out. I guess they're going to have. I'm not sure how they're going to release them. I think there's going to be some event or something that they're going to have them out. But it'll be a chance to get 150 cores to use, or 150 blueprints to use for FTG or Azuma, and then 300 to use for one of the other ships if you want to use it on a regular ship. But that's a really good job. So kudos to the devs for actually getting this out there. In terms of the new ships, there's a lot of conjecture right now as to who's the best. It's still going to take a while. I mean, yes. You're going to be able to get, they're going to be offering face research labs more frequently. And the fact that they'll be excluding ones that you've already got would mean that you'll be, more often than not, you'll get what you're looking for. if you've got several, if you've got some of the ships built. So you're much more, inclined to get an actual face project that is for the ship that you're looking for. And the fact that you're guaranteed, there's no more RNG involved on some of the prints. You're guaranteed that all of the blueprints will be for the ship that you're doing. So that's going to be increased. And I know it's increased dramatically, simply because of the fact that I've got 10 shards for FTG, almost, yeah, I think it's 10. 9 or 10 shards for FTG when this opened up last week. Since then, okay, that's how often I'm seeing projects for her, and getting a pretty decent amount of blueprints for her. So there's definitely been an increase in the blueprint obtaining. I definitely have seen it. Okay, so I can say that has worked out pretty well as well. Now. I do like the change. I think it's a much needed change. It's going to allow people to get caught up. I know probably some of the veteran players aren't too happy about it, considering they might have spent year maybe more building up FTG, or building up Zuma, or any of the priority ships out there. It used to be a real task and a real chore. And this is I think. It's not enough to complete the ship. I mean, 150 blueprints for FTG and Azuma is not enough to completely level 30 the ship. Okay, it's a nice gesture, and it helps. It helps me especially because I'm almost finished, but there's still a long way to go to actually complete the FTG. Complete it. They're not going to give you an FTG. Okay. I mean, using the prototype core and the those 150 shards, you'll be able to get a good jump, but you're still going to have some work to do to actually finish her out in terms of completing, to get him to dev level 30 and get that final star. But it's a good jump, and it allows them to get started. Okay, so and I think that's what they were doing. Now, of course, you got to understand the priority 4 ships are out now, and that's what everybody's going to be focused on. So I'm not sure how many people. I would suggest that you do go back and focus on FTG. These new ships that come out, the PR4 ships, are really nice. Okay, but in terms of FTG's still a proven commodity. The PR4 ships, I mean, they got some good ones. They've got Parseval. She is aircraft carrier for Ironblood fleet. You've got Anchorage. She's a good bet. Eagle Union, if you're looking for something like that. If you need some more Eagle Union, she might be some way to go. And we've got Hakuryu. I hope I'm saying that. Hakuryu. Awesome design, of course. Sakura Empire. So a carrier. So something that you might want to consider as well. Got a pretty good design. And then we've got Azur. Okay, pretty good design as well too. And then we have got Marco Polo. Haven't heard much anyone actually spacing out for particularly going for this one. It seems most people are leading towards Anchorage and Azur. So those two. I myself have gone for Parseval just because of the fact that I want another Ironblood carrier. I like to use my Ironblood fleet in Operation Siren. As you know, there are instances where you need to have, where you go up against bosses that do not are resistant or immune to shelling. So you need to take them down with aviation, air damage, and I only have one character. I like the fact. So I do like the skill set. I think a lot of people say that the skill set is not really good. I find it to be extremely interesting. I mean, when a ship launches an airstrike, 70% chance to inflict 230 damage to all enemies and reduce their speed to 0% restored to normal over 1 second. Okay. Now, if you remember back last year when they had the event and they came out with Strasser, Peter Strasser, and everybody was jumped on the Peter Strasser train. I know I was on that train. And we were looking for something to slow enemies. We were looking to that. Unfortunately, when they came out with it, the proc chance was so low that it was ridiculously non-existent. Fortunately, Prince Heinrich was in that event, and she stole the show. So she's an excellent character. So she was actually the ship that was turned out to be the most important in that. And now when this ship launches an airstrike, launches an additional level 10 airstrike. Damage is based on the level. Okay, inflicts armor break to all light and medium armor enemies hit by this airstrike. Okay, so your airstrikes. It's a level 10 airstrike. Okay, so it's going to be pretty powerful. And most level 10 airstrikes coat a pretty good section of the screen. So all those are going to have armor break. So you're going to be literally obliterating light and medium armor. Making them die even more faster because you're already going to be going through them probably pretty good. But this is going to sense that. And then CL and CAs increases the ship's damage dealt to CL and CAs by 20% when this ship is equipped with Iron Blood aircraft. Okay, so that's like your Messerschmitts and several others. It increases the ship's aviation and reload by 12% and fighter efficiency by 10%. Okay, so so she's a really, really good character. I like the skill set. Okay, some of the other characters have nice skill sets and stuff, but I really enjoy the skill set, and it pretty much matches what I'm looking for. So that's the reason I decided to go ahead and focus on her. None of the other ships are really have any. I don't really have any holes in my fleet. I mean, anchorage. There's don't really need another Eagle Union ship at this point in time. I mean, I've got multiple fleets now that we've got Jersey. I have a successful battleship fleet, and of course Eagle Union. You've got your Enterprise, Intrepid, Essex. Like Carrier, Saratoga. I mean, you got carriers coming out the Yin Yang, so you can definitely field a fleet with that. So having another battleship, Georgia, I know she's got a large hit point pool, which makes her attractive. And then you've got, this would be the only other possible one that I would be looking for, and that's simply because I don't have a Kagi. Okay, so basically my backfield consists of Nagato, Shinano, and then Tehu. So that's my back line. So she could fill a hole since I don't have a Kagi. If I had a Kagi, I would be running probably Nagato, Kagi, and a Kaga, Kaga and a Kagi, simply because that's one of the best, if not the best, backfields out there. But I don't, and I'm tired of doing 3-4 just trying to get her. So, this was a consideration for me. But she is a DR ship, so long time. The way to tell if it's DR is just take a look at the day collection. If it's 1.2, it's a DR ship. If it's 1 million, it's not. Okay. I also considered Azur, because like I say, she is Iron Blood, but I was looking, as I said, for something that was an aircraft carrier. She's not an aircraft carrier, so but she does have a lot of hit points. Okay, and she's pretty good in terms of firepower. Okay, and then last, Marco Polo. I don't need anything. She's Royal Navy, so I don't need anything from that. Although she does have an S in firepower and hit points, which makes her to be a pretty good ship. And combined with the fact that she's not a DR ship, so if you're looking for a battleship, this might be a good choice. Okay. So, but this takes Iron Blood points and Royal Navy Tech points. Okay, but she does have a both S in hit points and an S in firepower. Okay, and so the ship is out of ammo. Debuff decreases damage penalty. Okay, so that helps. Okay, and when she fires a barrage, with 75 to frontal barrage, and then we've got if there's at least one Sardinia ship in your fleet, decreases the ship's damage by 20% and start a battle with the frontmost ship in your vanguard. Is a Sardinia, increases the main gun efficiency in your anti-air by 50%. Okay, and then if it's not a Sardinia and it's 2 shields that can block torpedoes, might be useful in certain stages. And then during the sortie, whenever this fleet ship sinks an enemy fleet, increase the ship's anti-air animation by 5%. Can be stacked up to 3 while this ship is float launches up and supporting barrage. 20 seconds after a fleet, the ship is not in, starts its first and second battles. So here we are getting again in terms of assisting a fleet that she's not in. So that seems to be a trend that they seem to be going with, in terms of ships, allowing a ship that's not in your actual fleet but can assist your fleet, assist another fleet. Except you're running sorties with one fleet, this ship can benefit that fleet that's running the sortie, even though she's not being used. So it seems to be a trend that they seem to be going with. So it makes for some interesting fights, needless to say. So those are the new ships. Like I say, there's a little bit of something for everybody. They got an Eagle Union, they got a Secure Empire, a couple Iron Blood ships, and then something for the Royal Navy. But it looks like this Royal Navy has some type of assistance also with Sardinia Empire, so that she can be used in that as well. So they got a little bit of everything. Sort of left. Still have not got a ship for the actual Parliament for the Northern Fleet in here yet. I don't think we had a ship for them yet. So maybe in season PR5 that'll happen, because got Royal Navy, HMS Drake, and yep. Okay. So nothing for them yet, but maybe we'll see something for that. But a lot of changes, a bunch of stuff that you can do now. Those combat data packs can also be used on experience for any of these ships. Okay, I use them to finish up Azuma, some of them to finish up Azuma, and to finish up Seattle. But in terms of actual usefulness, using them in the core shop would most likely be the best bet. But I wanted to go ahead and finish up Azuma because I'm keen to start utilizing her inside of the actual PvP, where she'll be a pretty good bet considering she has pretty high hit points. That's the reason, the primary reason that I went ahead and used them for her, just to get it done, because it was going to take a while, because I really hadn't been focusing on my Sakura Empire fleet, and I was going to have to start utilizing them to get the combat data collection done. So I just went ahead and jumped, because I wanted to use the Iron Blood fleet, and that's what I've been using in in most of the events right now, where I need a high level fleet running Operation Siren and stuff. For the low levels, I'm just still finishing up the fleet for the Eagle Union. So I've almost got them there. So we're working on Georgia. I finished St. Louis. We got Georgia, Dido U, Prince of Wales, Jersey, and I'm also bringing up Rio, and I'm also bringing up San Francisco. To keep, I want to have 5 ships or 6 ships in the fleet that none of them are 120, so that because I'm just running experience for them. So as you can see, I'm moving along within those to get them ready for utilizing them in the upper levels. We'll have to see how that goes. But I did want to talk about the research ships and the changes that are being implemented to make it a little bit less of a chore to get caught up with some of the veteran players in terms of the priority ships. All right. So thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Once you subscribe, you'll see a bell. If they click on the bell, you get notified each time I do drop a video. Also, remember to like and share the video, as that does help the channel immensely. All right, so this is Ken Rear coming at you from the corner, signing out.